Hey, hey, hey. How is everyone? I hope everyone is well. I've just got my little fleece here in case I get a little bit cold because the nights are getting colder, and I've got a little hot water bottle in case do you know what I mean? Saving on our bills. Well, trying to anyway. So Mark's not here. He has gone to work. And he's gone into the office. I say gone to work. He's gone into the office today. So it's just me for the moment. Hopefully he'll join us, but you never know because he might be a bit tired. But hopefully he'll join us anyway. In the meantime, I wanted to show you as a Halloween special. So Mark's been talking about sort of like getting some Halloween things in and all of that type of stuff. So today I ordered Starbucks spooky. I think it's called the sour apple or something like that. I think it's their trick or treat drink. So hopefully it'll be a treat. And this one, so I got two muffins. So this one is the rest in peace muffin right there. It's a chocolate one. That looks so cool. And this one is toffee apple. Look at that. That looks also cool. When I pulled the chocolate one out the bag, it was so soft. It sort of almost fell apart, came apart from the sort of the paper case. So I can't wait to try those. I'm going to wait for a little while for more people to join in, and hopefully Mark might come and join us when he gets in. So we'll see. And if he does, then we can both try it together. But anyway, we got time for that. We got time for that. So what have I been up to? I've not been up to much actually. I went out yesterday for lunch with my sister-in-law Alicia and my cousin Suzette. We had a lovely lunch. Um, I had a chicken burger. I know it doesn't sound all that, but we went to a place and we couldn't really decide where. I wanted to go somewhere we hadn't been before, but funnily enough, I have been to this place before, but it was a very long time ago, like a few years ago. And so I think it might have changed over hands and stuff, but we went somewhere and then we enjoyed where we went. I wasn't actually going to get a burger. I was actually going to get lamb shank. And Alicia, she also got a burger, but she wasn't going to get a burger. She was going to get lamb chops or something like that. And then I don't know what it was because my cousin Suze, she had already said, right, that's it. She had said she was getting burger from the start. So yeah, she got burger from the start. But me and Leash, we couldn't sort of like decide what we wanted. And so in the end, I just got a burger. I completely changed my mind. But they also did this confit duck, and in my mind, I thought, should I have gotten the confit duck, which was their special that day? But I think next time I'll go. I don't know what made me choose the burger, but I decided to go with the burger rather than confit duck. So I did. So I got that. So that was yesterday, and I also met up with my other cousin, and we got a couple of coffees. I say coffees. We got a couple of frappuccinos. So we had some nice frappuccinos, which was quite nice. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just thinking. See, Mark hasn't been well, so we didn't do much on the weekend. And I have a feeling I did go out, but I can't. If I did go out, do you know what? My memory is so terrible, and I can't remember where I went if I did go out. But it was really nice to sort of catch up with my sister-in-law and my cousin and all of that type of stuff. So that was really good. But I've been watching things lately and I've been thinking about this power cut, that they've been talking about now. Obviously, as you know, Liz Truss, she's no longer Prime Minister. And now we have Rishi Sunak as Prime Minister. Uh, think of that as you will. I don't know. But my worry is these planned. I don't know if they're planned or if they're set in stone, but they're talking about doing sort of like power cuts. So what do we think about this? Like doing power cuts and stuff like that. Because I'm not sure. Like this is the first time. Like, don't get me wrong. I've experienced power cuts as in, oh, the line's gone down or whatever. Now, I experienced them like a few times when I was younger, when there's been a power cut, or sometimes you've woken up and the clocks are all flashing zero because there was a power cut. But now, if there's power cuts, because everything is so digital, it updates itself. You never know when there's power cuts in the middle of the night, because when you got up, when you get up, the clocks are still running normal. If they're digital clocks, that is, they're all running normal. So you kind of never know these days when there is a power cut or isn't a power cut. But anyway, um, so what are people preparing for these power cuts? Are you sort of thinking, do you know what? I need to have this in place and that in place and all of that sort of stuff in case we do have power cuts. Now, I, in general, I don't know if people are prepared or are not prepared and things like that. So, what do you think on the matter? What is it you guys think? Do you think that, do you know what? I've got this in place. I've got this in place. I've got first aid kits. I've got candles and like torches and all of that. Like, are you prepared for a power cut? Like, I watch a few YouTubers in the States, and particularly in Florida. And there's one couple that I follow, and they're prepared. They got like little sort of camping gas hobs and a rain barrel and all of this type of stuff. But I suppose they have that type of weather where there is potentially going to be power cuts and things like that, so they're all sort of like potential. So I often think to myself, like, are we as you know are we prepared for these planned power cuts and stuff like that? Like, I don't have much information on them. I just know that apparently we're going to have planned power cuts in January and February. And I guess there's only sort of like, they're mentioning them on certain websites and stuff, and I suppose as we get closer to the time, they'll probably announce them on the news and things like that. But in the meantime, are you guys prepared? Like, are we for sure certain that they're going to happen? If they are you prepared? What are you going to put in place and all of that type of stuff? Because when you think of these things, you just think, wow, like, now it's going to be planned power cuts. I mean, I think to myself, it's quite extraordinary, I feel. Do you know what I mean? In this day and age, you think we're in 2022, we're not back, sort of like 50 years ago or whenever. Do you know what I mean? So you think to yourself, wow, um, it's gonna be quite crazy, I feel. But anyway, enough of that. What have you guys been up to, and are you all preparing for Halloween? I was talking to my cousin Steph this morning, and he said, "Oh yeah, the boys have decorated the house and all of this type of stuff." I thought, decorated the house. So, but because one of my nephews was actually born on Halloween, and they've always, like my cousin Steph and that, they've always been quite big into Halloween. Um, and yeah, he said, "Oh yeah, we've decorated the outside of the house and all of this type of stuff." I was like, "Oh my god." Um, but obviously, as a country, we don't like. I've been round and I've not seen any houses decorated. I've not seen, it's not like at Christmas when you go Christmas time and everybody's decorated their house and stuff like that. Oh, hi Thunder, how are you? Good evening. I'm good, thank you. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. And are you preparing for Halloween? Are you getting ready for Halloween? It's really funny because it's not something that we sort of we'd like. Don't get me wrong. I did trick or treating. My family never took me out trick or treating. Once I got to a certain age, I went trick or treating by myself. And then at one point, I took my cousins with me, and we all went trick or treating and things like that. So, but when we knocked on some doors, like, they weren't prepared. Do you know what I mean? So, because it wasn't a big thing, but when you watch in the States, and like, it's a really big thing. And I remember I was talking to Siobhan, which is Mark's brother's girlfriend, and I was saying to her, how is it? Obviously, they've been living in Washington and all that, and I was like, oh, how is it? How is it over there? Do they really, you know, is it as big as it is on the TV? And she said, yeah, you do see kids walking in the streets and things like that. And I just think to myself, that's so crazy, where it's so big that kids are dressed up and they're just walking around in the streets. It's mad. I'm going to the pumpkin farm with my boyfriend, hopefully this weekend. And it is decorated and everything. Oh, wow. You can take photos there and eat there too. Yeah, they put a lot of effort into it. What about you? Do you know what? I haven't planned anything, but I have heard of these, like these farms, and you go and do like a scary tour around, like these farms and stuff like that. And I have heard of those. And they also do, like places like Thorpe Park and things like that. And I think there was at one point where I thought, oh, do you know what? I wonder if it would be good to go to Thorpe Park on Halloween. I've never been. I mean, I've been to Thorpe Park, but I've never been for an event. And I often wonder, is it going to be good? Is it going to, you think, are these sorts of things going to be good? But I think as years go on in the UK anyway, I feel like Halloween is getting more popular. Oh, it's so, yeah, it is really nice that they celebrate it properly. I wish it was a huge celebration in the UK, exactly like in Hocus Pocus, where everyone gets dressed up. Well, Mark's been talking about sort of doing a party at some point, but we're never ever prepared because I think because we're not used to sort of celebrating it like a big stuff. We know Halloween's going to happen, we know when it is, and all of that type of stuff, but we're never fully prepared to celebrate it. And yeah, I think my don't get me wrong, I'll have candies and stuff ready, like sweets and that ready for any of the trick-or-treaters. And we'll have a pumpkin in the window to show that, they can knock on the door. But last year I only got one person that knocked on the door. Oh yeah, you should do Thorpe Park. I did every. And did you ever try the Saw maze? No, because do you know when I went before Saw was even out. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if they still had it, but at the time, because I would have been school age then, so you're talking many years ago. They had this which they actually do in the States as well, and I thought it was fantastic, where they had this like dome. And what they did in this dome was they it was like an experience. So you would stand in the middle of this room. The room would be dark. They had this dome, and they would project a sort of like a film, but it'd be like a film of roller coasters and things that would, so your mind thinks you're on the ride, but you're not actually on the ride. If that makes sense. So you're just standing in a room, but you're sort of like going and doing sort of like the roller coasters and whatever else that they had. But it wasn't a simulator. Now they do have something similar in well, they have lots of things actually in I'm just trying to think which park it is in now. It's in Epcot. Now Epcot's my favorite park of Disney, and they have this ride called Soarin'. Now the difference is with Soarin', you're actually seated, and uh the sort of platform that you're seated in sort of lifts up from the ground only a little bit, about this much, so you're probably about that much off the ground. And so it's almost like you're free fall kind of thing, but you're not that much off the ground. And again, you're in this film and they're doing all the roller coasters and they're flying over, do you know what I mean, glaciers and things like that, and you're going with it, sort of flying with it and doing all the other things. And it's really amazing how your mind thinks you're on a ride. So it's really, yeah, it's really, I feel it's really clever, and it's just a way to sort of like have a ride. So like if you are the sort of person that physically can't go on a ride, but you would like to try a ride, that's one of the ones that you can do, where you sort of like trick your mind. So you're not on the ride, you're all stable. Like I don't know if they still have it in Thorpe Park, but they do in Epcot Center, where you're just sort of like seated. But in the one in Thorpe Park, you used to be standing in a room, and it was like a dome. But it wasn't 360. It was just a dome that sort of like so it did your peripheral vision, and you would just stand there, and you would. And I don't know if they still have that there. I should Google it and find out actually, see if they still have that there. But yeah, so I've never actually been, and I often wonder, do they still have it there? I would do it again if they did do it. But I'm not really a roller coaster person, and I feel like a lot of the theme parks in the UK are all roller coaster based, but there are other rides I feel that which other countries have that you can do. Like I'm a simulator girl. I love a good simulator. So you're like seated in like sort of like a cabin or whatever it is, and you're doing the rides. Or I feel like they should have more rides like that in the UK. I think it would be so much more fun. um I know that Mark was talking about that they might be doing a Paramount Park, which would be on the sort of same sort of scale. Maybe not, because we don't have as much land as obviously as the US. But I know that they were talking about maybe doing a park, and I don't know if it was. I'll have to ask Mark if it was going to be in Dartford somewhere, and it was going to be massive. Like you'll have shops, you'll have rides, but because obviously it's by Paramount, which is an American company, it will have visionaries of those sorts of types of rides that you would have in the US. And I think that that would be amazing, because the only thing that we sort of have comparable in Europe, I guess, would be Disney. So they don't call it Euro Disney anymore, do they? They call it Disneyland Paris. So it would be akin to, I guess, Disneyland Paris. The only other thing that I can think of in Europe, sort of along those lines, would be Portaventura, which is in Salou. So you have Portaventura, where again, I've actually been to Portaventura. I went with Evelyn, my bestie, and we did that. But that was really cool as well. And you saw like shows that they had, sort of like a version of Indiana Jones. So when you go to I can't remember, I'm just trying to think which park it is now, where they do Hollywood Studios, I think it is. So when you go to somewhere like Hollywood Studios, they actually do an action adventure with Indiana Jones. So they sort of like do the stunts and stuff, and they're swinging on ropes, and they have a boulder coming down and all of that type of stuff. And they have something similar in Spain. So if you feel that, going to Disneyland Paris or going somewhere like the States is quite expensive, because like Disneyland Paris can be quite expensive. Um, in fact, I think sometimes it would be cheaper to stay in the center of Paris and then get the train into Disneyland Paris. Because staying in a couple of the hotels there or even around there, it's a little bit pricey. So, but you don't actually have to stay at Disneyland Paris hotel. There are other hotels that are within walking distance, and there's also a free shuttle from some of the hotels, not all of the hotels, but from some of the hotels. So if you decided that you wanted to stay in a hotel that was a little bit more, further out, that wasn't right, because for economical purposes, then you could stay at one of the cheaper hotels and get that free shuttle that will take you to straight to Disneyland Paris. Or you can have a hotel that is walkable straight to Disneyland Paris. Just to let you know, I also made a nice cup of tea. So today I made a cup of tea, but I've got carnation milk in it. Oh, I love a bit of carnation milk. So Mark's home, so hopefully he'll join us, and then I'll try the drinks as the drink is slowly melting beside me, and we'll try the cakes. So he doesn't know that I've ordered the cakes, by the way. But anyway, I digress. So I feel like if you do want to also try another cheaper option, something that I found more affordable, um, is Salou. So Portaventura in Salou, and they got lots of good rides as well and all of that. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not as good as if you were going to, let's be clear, it's not as good as if you were going to Universal Studios or if you were going to one of the Disney parks. However, it is a really good economical uh, compromise, I think, if you go to Portaventura. And plus, it's near the beach as well. So on the days that you're not in the park, I think the tickets that they do are normally like 3-day tickets. So you can get 3-day ticket, you can enjoy. There's 2 parks there, I believe. There, sorry, 3 parks. There's a water park, there is Portaventura, and then they've got Ferrari Land, I think it's called. Ferrari Land wasn't there when I was there, which was, I was there about maybe 11, 12 years ago, I think, something like that. So if you really want that theme park experience, definitely try Salou, Portaventura in Salou, because it'd be really good, and I think you'll enjoy it. Like I said, I love a good theme park. So yeah, so on from that, I wanted to talk also about cooking. Sorry, baking. So as we know, Bake Off is on tonight, so I'm gonna finish a little bit early. Not now, obviously, but a little bit early because I really want to watch Bake Off. Oh, Mark is well, by the way, if anybody's wondering, because he wasn't well obviously last week, but he's well now. Or should I say not well, but he's better. So I've been thinking about sort of new cakes to try. So the cakes that I normally bake. So the other day I did a cheat crumble. And what I mean by cheat crumble, so I had some cherry fruit pie, but in the can. So like, if you wanted to make a cherry pie or whatever, cherry fruit filling. And I thought, oh, do you know what? I'm gonna make a crumble. So I had a little, because obviously it's only one can. I had a Pyrex dish. Now, the cherry fruit filling that I had is not the same, because they do two different types, and there's also a dark cherry, and I prefer the dark cherry to the light cherry. But anyway, so I had this like cherry pie filling in the cupboard. And I thought, oh, do you know what? Mark fancied a dessert. So did I. Said, do you know what? I'll make a crumble. I'll make a cheat crumble. So we got the fruit pie. Hey, Touche McBoosh, how are you? I hope you're well. Mark is good. I'm good. And he is just upstairs at the moment. He's just got in from work. So I don't know if he'll join us or not. I hope he will, because I've got some treats. I've got some treats. So the chocolate one is the Rest in Peace muffin from Starbucks, and a toffee apple muffin. Oh, I'm glad you're feeling much better. Oh, I'm glad. And I also got this sort of like apple. Well, I think it's sour apple. So I'm just waiting for Mark so we can try it. So it came with like chocolate on the top and everything. So it's got cream and chocolate and sour apple. So yeah, it's going to be quite nice to try. Um, is everybody watching Bake Off at the moment? So anyway, getting back to so I made a cherry crumble this week. I did a cheap one, not a proper one, just a cheap one. And so I got so to make the crumble, all you need is sugar, butter, and flour. That's all you need: sugar, butter, and flour. Now, I did a combination of sugars, so I did half uh, caster sugar and half. Did I do muscovado, or did I do? I think I did half light brown. Oh no, light muscovado sugar. So I did light muscovado sugar, and I did light caster sugar, golden caster sugar. And so I got the butter. Now the butter has to be cold when you're making the crumble. Here comes Mark. Here he is. And so yeah, so I was doing this with my hands, and I thought, do you know what? I haven't got enough butter.
Hello, everybody. Oh, what a day! What a day! Just got back from work. Oh, we got Touche McBoosh. We got Thunder on.
Yes.
How is everybody?
And look what I bought.
Oh, do you know what? I was just looking for something to eat. I was hungry.
So these are
What
the
we got?
two
Lift
Halloween.
them up.
Oh, I've shown them already.
Ah.
So this is the Rest in Peace. Be careful because it's so soft.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
that is.
yeah. Careful.
Rest in peace.
That one's so soft.
How are you? You well?
And then I got a toffee apple, because we've not had the toffee apple. We had a lemon one, but not the
It
toffee
has
apple.
been a long day. It has been a long day. How are you feeling though? You weren't so well.
Yeah, she said she's
Oh,
feeling
you're
much
better.
better.
Oh, good. I'm glad to see you're better.
And you're feeling better though as well.
I'm feeling better. I still got a cough. What was funny? I was on the train. I still wear my mask. And I was going trying to clear my throat every couple of minutes. And the guy next to me went, And he ran off. He just ran off to another seat, which is fine. I get the seat to myself. Oh, what's your gruesome thing? Is it still got the little finger in it?
No, this is a different one. This is like a sour apple.
Is it good?
I've not tried it yet. I was waiting for you.
Oh, okay. Give it a try.
So yeah, let's try. Let me just mix it up a bit because it was separated.
Oh, I'm glad you're much better. And Thunder, how are you feeling? I'm glad because I know you weren't feeling too well. Are you sure? Because I got a bit of a.
Oh yeah.
Maybe pour some in the glass.
Oh, let me get another straw. Well, I don't think it really matters, but yeah, okay.
Does it taste of apple? It smells of apple.
It does taste of apple, but it's not strong apple. And do you know what it tastes like? It tastes a little bit like a sweet.
Okay.
Like a sweet, yeah.
I can
it's
smell it.
quite
It's got a
nice.
very strong apple smell to it.
Yeah. All right, let me grab something.
Oh, let's do it later. Let's do these
Okay.
cakes. I'm hungry.
No, look at you. Let's do these cakes. I'm hungry. All right, which one should we try? Oh, we'll try the chocolate one first.
Try the chocolate one as it's on the floor.
As it's almost falling apart.
Lift it up so you guys can see. So this is from Starbucks.
Yeah, this is Starbucks. This is the,
I like the
rest in peace. Yeah, I'm assuming that's going to be like
edible. It looks edible.
Yeah, well,
yeah, it is.
not edible, but it looks like it's going to be like a chocolate.
So what is it? Is it chocolate?
Yeah, this is chocolate.
All right.
I have to be careful. It's so soft, it is falling apart. I swear.
Yeah, if you do buy this, just be wary. It is really, really.
It's really moist. It's really like
it will just crumble.
Literally just falling. As soon as I picked it up out the bag, it fell apart.
Yeah, I was going to say it's very crumbly. So if you would probably be best off eating this in store. All right, here we go.
Okay. There's chocolate chunks in it as well.
That's a very good chocolate muffin. I don't see what's spooky about it. It's just a chocolate muffin.
Yeah, but it's quite a good one. I'm not a lover of chocolate cakes and buns and stuff.
Oh, I heard lately that people with dark-coloured eyes tend to struggle through the darker months than those with lighter-coloured eyes. That's interesting. Do you know what? I hate winter. I absolutely loathe it. There's people at work. There's a lady at work who's again with blue eyes. I know this is just one thing, but she loves winter. Absolutely loves it. Oh, really good.
Yeah.
Try the rest in peace sign. So we're going to prove that the rest in peace sign is edible. What about you guys? Do you like winter? Do you mind winter?
There's a chocolate ganache in there that's so good. It's not all the way through the muffin though.
Do you know what? I've got to say, Starbucks has a very good cake. I do like that.
There was a chocolate ganache that stuck the sign on, but it's not all the way through the muffin, unfortunately, which is a shame.
No, really nice.
But it is very, very nice.
Okay. Let's move on. Next cake.
Just opening it up because there's so much left. Do you want to?
No, I'll do that later.
No? Okay.
I want to try this. Is it now? This looks to me.
This is toffee apple.
Oh, yeah, I'm always a bit skeptical.
Oh really? Of toffee apple?
Yeah, because it never tastes of toffee apple. It always tastes of caramel.
Yeah, baby.
You said I like the coziness of it all. I'd rather be cold than too hot. Now that's interesting, see, because I'm not a big fan of winter purely because of that, of the cold. I don't mind the cold for a bit when it gets novel. So I would say up to about November, maybe December.
Yeah.
I think, it's quite novel. Now, come January, February, I'm sick of it. I have had enough. I cannot, because then it drags on to March, mostly April. May can be cold. So that's why I really, really like it when sort of June comes. But I do like spring. I do like spring. All right, thank you. Oh, don't take the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'll just take a bit.
Okay.
Here we go. It doesn't smell very happily. All right, let's try.
I don't know about you, but I can taste the apple.
I can't taste the apple.
There's apple pieces in it as well.
Maybe it's because I've still got a cold.
It's possible. It's not strong apple, but look, there's an apple piece right there.
Oh, yeah, I can taste a little bit of apple now.
Yeah.
It's a very weak apple though.
Yeah, it's not a strong apple. It's not like toffee, like a toffee apple.
But
it
that is nice.
Yeah, it is nice.
Tanika, how are you? We're just doing a review of the
Hello.
Starbucks cakes. Oh.
The cheek of it. Try and take my bit.
That is actually quite nice.
Yeah. Which one do you prefer?
Do you know, now I've had the apple bit and it's a bit lighter. They're both very good. I would give them both 8 out of 10 for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I would definitely give them 8 out of 10. I think you're right. And I think this is one of the better ones. Other than the other one that I really liked was the white chocolate raspberry. Do you remember that little? Was it? It wasn't cheesecake. It was. Blondie. The blondie.
Short. Yeah.
The blondie. It was so good. That was so good.
Right, that's enough. Oh, Tanika has good news too. I had my meeting about the pay rise and they agreed. Hey! So now I'll be paid by project, not by the hour, and works out much more. Now I'm just nervous as it's a lot of work to do. No, you'll be fine. Just do what you normally do. Just like you say, you know your worth. You've understood, you've showed them your worth, and clearly they know you're worth it to give you that money.
Yeah.
Companies are more likely to underpay you than overpay you. So the fact that they're paying you more shows how much they actually value you.
Yeah.
Well done. And I'm doing that while I'm getting more of this.
Good for you. I'm going to have some of this.
So, it's very green.
Yeah.
With the apple flavour.
Of course it's green. Mark's eating just
I'm hungry. I haven't eaten yet. So.
What did you have for lunch?
Just a salad. So.
I had chicken Kievs and salad.
No, it's all right for some.
Well, I had chicken Kievs and salad. Do you know what I'm saying? But that's all I had. And until
anyway, well done. I think that's really, really good. I think you deserve that.
For sure. And I'm so glad that you sort of like spoke to them and told them, and do you know what? They were just like, yeah, cool, no problem. And now it's a permanent role. Is that right? Is it's a permanent role?
Thanks, guys. Your advice really helped. Well, actually, do you know what? It was you that did it.
Yeah.
You've always had the confidence. It's just showing that confidence there. So that's really well done. Brilliant. That is so good.
For sure. So
what's the topic of conversation then before I joined?
I was talking about cakes and baking.
Of course you were.
Obviously, Bake Off is on tonight, so we'll finish a little bit early. But I was talking about when I was baking the crumble, and I was baking a cheat crumble, because obviously the fruit pie filling. But I don't like that fruit pie filling as much as the dark cherry one.
Yeah.
I feel the dark cherry one is much better and sweeter than that one. That one was a little bit too tart for me. But I think that I want to make different cakes that are not my normal cakes. I did try a couple of new ones. One of them being the peanut butter and jelly cake, and then the other one being, what was the other one? Oh, the Oreo cake.
Yeah, that was good.
So those are the two new cakes that I've made. But I would like to try a different one. The one that I did do, which was an epic fail, was the chess cake. But I'm going to try the chess cake again.
It wasn't an epic fail. It just merged a little bit.
It was such an epic fail. But I'm going to try the chess cake again. But this time I've got better colouring ingredients. So I will just do them completely.
So Tanika said, no, this one is a freelance project running from now until February next year.
Right, okay.
The permanent one is the other job I told you about. Oh, okay, who I asked to hire me, and they are pitching it to management.
Yeah.
I see.
Right, okay.
And you'll find out about that one in a few weeks' time. So far, so good. That's really well done.
So far, so good.
So I missed that comment come up. Cake, that was the problem.
Yeah.
It was the cake that distracted me.
Talking about cake.
But yeah, I would definitely recommend those two cakes.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's really well done. So Thunder, any more update on the dates?
She is going to a Halloween pumpkin farm.
Oh, when?
Yeah, she's going this weekend, I think. Is that what she said?
Ah.
Let me have a quick
Funny
look.
enough, it was interesting actually because Tanika, I don't know if you remember when you, I think when you first came on the chat, you were going for a date and you were going for a date to Inamo. I do remember that.
Yeah. Where did she say it?
Oh, you went for a Hocus Pocus.
No, she would like it. She
Oh,
would
is
like
it a
it if it
Hocus
was
one?
as popular as Hocus Pocus. Oh right, we can't see anymore.
No, you've gone too far. Yeah.
Have I?
No,
I
keep
don't-
going. No, once it goes to a certain thing, it
No,
goes.
it doesn't go up anymore.
No, that's what I mean. Once you go to a certain thing, it will go up.
Oh, okay. But yeah, she was saying that she was going to a pumpkin farm, like a Halloween pumpkin farm.
Oh, okay.
And I was saying that I know that some places do things like you know, like these farms that you go to and they sort of like do a scare farm and all of that. So I know that there are a couple of places, but I feel you have to drive so far to get to these places to have a spooky time.
Oh yeah, you remember? Yeah, you. Oh yeah, that's right. You said you went for Inamo through one of our reviews. We haven't uploaded the other one yet, have we? The one we went to the other week. I've got the name.
I'm just trying to think.
South Bank.
Oh, ping pong.
No.
No, we haven't uploaded ping pong yet. But I have to get round to that. But today I was waiting for a call and I didn't get the call that I was waiting for, and and then I was supposed to be going out tomorrow, but I'm not going to go out now. I'm just going to wait for that call, because then they emailed and said, "Oh, we're going to call you today." So I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, no, we so we must put that one up. We must do the ping pong one up.
Yeah. What do you think about these planned power cuts?
Well, it's that they haven't been done. Like I said, I don't recall it in my lifetime. Planned power cuts, because the last one were in the 70s.
Yeah, I don't remember I do remember power cuts in general.
Yeah, but not planned ones. So I'm not sure they go ahead. I don't think they'll go ahead, but we'll see. I think it's more of a last precaution. They'll say.
Yeah, I think it's a last resort. But what my question is, are you guys ready? Like, are we ready, like, for these planned power cuts?
Sorry. Touche said, love your Toby carvery videos. Would you consider an Xmas dinner at Toby?
My mum has been talking about this. Now, funny enough, was it last year or
That's
the
a
year
good question,
before?
actually.
Yeah,
Sure.
It was either last year or the year before. We had planned, we paid our deposit. We were going to go to Toby on Christmas Day. This was it. But then my sister-in-law was like, "Oh, I don't want to do
It's good.
I don't want to do the Toby carvery." And we'd all paid our deposits, and I was just like, "Oh, all right, then we won't do the Toby carvery."
How much did you lose?
£10.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. We all paid. You paid. We all paid. How much did you lose? No, we all paid. Yeah, we lost £10. It was okay. But I would have liked to have gone, because it would be nice to go somewhere and you're not having to. But what my sister-in-law is saying, which is true, you don't get all the leftovers and things like that, and taking it home, and it's all the preparing, and it's all the getting ready, and it's all the, like, that's what makes Christmas Christmas.
Last Christmas. It must be the Christmas.
It was the Christmas before. Yeah, not last Christmas.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, it wasn't last Christmas, because Christmas we were at your family.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah. So it was the Christmas before. But yeah, and so my mum was saying, "Oh yeah, why don't we go?" My mum said the exact same thing this year. Why don't we do Toby? And I said to her, "Do you remember when we were going to do Toby?" And then we didn't end up doing Toby. But yes, I would definitely consider, and I would like to go.
Well, what we might try and do then, we will try and do, because the Christmas, I'd imagine that the Christmas menu will go well into December, because they'll cater for Christmas parties and what have you. The actual Christmas menu will be on Christmas Day, so that might be obviously one we wouldn't do just purely on that one, because you'd have to do it on Christmas Day. However, I'd definitely be up for doing the Christmas menu in December.
Yeah, and seeing if they.
So that's a good idea. Thank you. We will look to do that, actually.
Because I was also thinking about, I would like to do like one in general, like a group of us go and we go for like a Christmas dinner somewhere, which I like. This is what I used to do when I was at work, where we'd get together and then I would arrange our Christmas dinners. And so I'd pick a place, and then that's where we go for a Christmas dinner. But I haven't done that now for a few years.
No,
It would
no,
be
no.
quite nice to sort of like get a group of us together, and then we go and have this gorgeous Christmas dinner. So I might plan it. I might plan something like that, and it'd be quite nice.
So how about you guys? Has everybody already got their Christmas thing planned? Well, by Christmas thing, I mean does any of you guys do a works Christmas do or a friend's Christmas do? Or do you have like a tradition where you do a Christmas meal before Christmas Day with friends, family, whether it be work colleagues? Do you do that? We haven't done it at our place for years.
Yeah.
Absolute years.
I just wanted to ask everyone else a question, what Tush McBoosh was saying, which is, would any of you consider going somewhere else for Christmas? Like, not have like obviously,
Right.
yeah, on Christmas Day. Like, would you consider like like when we went to Mauritius, we went around Christmas, and it was so nice to just get dressed up and go downstairs and have the buffet and things like that. I thought that was really quite nice. So you don't have to do anything. You don't. What did you think of that on
Oh,
Christmas Day?
Tanika's asked, did you guys catch up on Married at First Sight? We haven't yet. No.
We've got 2 more episodes, I think.
No, one more.
Oh, one more.
We got the very last. So we watched the. We kind of have. So I'll tell you where we are. We've watched all the marriage renewals. And the one episode we haven't yet watched is the one where they have the very last final get together.
Yeah, we are watching the final get together at the moment, but it's done in 2 parts.
Oh, is it? Okay, that's the one we haven't
Yeah,
watched
so
yet.
we haven't watched the second part of the last the reunion dinner.
The very last one.
The very last one. So we've watched the first half, but we haven't watched the last half. So so basically you're seeing which couples stayed together and which couples didn't. And so yeah, so I don't know if there is a twist or a surprise at the end. I don't know, but I wasn't surprised.
I was.
Really?
Jordan and what's her name? Shanice. That really surprised me.
Oh really?
That really, really surprised me. When she walked in single, I thought, oh, you know what my initial reaction was? He must have COVID. I didn't think for 1 second that he had not.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler. He had finished it. I had never in a million years. I thought, no, he must be sick. I
was surprised, but I wasn't surprised because of what he was saying at the last dinner, which was, oh, I have to be sure and blah blah blah. And I think his mum wasn't 100% on it as well. So I think and I think that Shanita is she's too assertive for him, because she'll just say things or whatever, and he was a bit too childish, and she was always looking after him or picking up after him and stuff like that. And I think that she just wasn't.
The rest of them totally suspected. Sophie and the Yorkshire guy, that did not surprise me at all. I firmly knew as soon as I was actually shocked he said he wanted to give it a go, because he clearly was not interested.
What shocked me about the whole thing with those two is that I thought I wasn't going to like her, because I just thought, oh, do you know what? It's very materialistic, blah, blah, blah. Don't get me wrong, I'm high maintenance, but not high maintenance materialistic wise, money wise, all of that type of stuff. Whereas that's how she was. And I just thought, I don't know if I can get on board with that side of things.
Tanika said, oh, I won't say anything about the last episode then, lol. Jordan shocked me too. Do you think it's commitment issues? But then why go on a show like that? Do you know what? I'll say that I do think it's commitment issues. And I think he went on a show like that because I think he fooled himself into thinking he would be ready, and he's not. I do think that. I think what he does is, as soon as the relationship gets a little bit difficult, which is always going to be, no relationship is smooth. I think he then convinces himself that it's not worth pursuing. And you know what? I had a friend of mine many years ago called Chris. And he always, if he gets some very, very good looking girls at the time. And then what would happen is he'd always think, oh, this is going to end badly. This is going to end badly. This is going to end badly. So he'd will it to happen. It would end badly. And he'd see, I told you it would happen. I thought, well, yeah, because you've willed it and you've just been expecting that to happen.
See, I don't think that's the case. I think Shanita is too mature for Jordan. I don't think he's mature enough at all.
I don't think it's that. I do think it's commitment issues. I do think he literally. I think he's thinking it's going to end badly. And if you do that, that's what happened. So Tanika, what's your take on it? And everybody else who watched Maths there, what's your take on it?
My thing was, because she was like, she was cleaning around the sink and all of that, and she kept saying to him, like, you need to put this away, you need to put your tea bags away. And so he was quite he's quite childlike. And so I think that, what do you mean that sounds familiar when I put all my tea bags in the bin? Go and see if you can find a tea bag, because you won't. But what I'm saying is, yeah, I feel like, yeah, she was too mature for him. He was too childish. He still had that air of, he didn't live at home, but I can imagine his mum coming to his house and cleaning for him.
Oh, yeah. But you see, now the trouble is when mums do that, they think they're helping their son out, but they are not. They're making the situation 10 times worse.
His house was when she went there, the house was far too tidy. I reckon the mum had gone there.
Yeah, tidied it
and
up.
Tidied the house ready for them when they came. So I don't, for me personally.
Oh, Jordan, you can't have your house like this.
I don't even think she thought that. I think it was just normal for her to come round and clean the house.
I know, I have had friends that do that. Their mums actually pop round, tidy up everything, and do ironing and drop it all off.
Yeah, and I that's what I think. I think, and it didn't look particularly like, when you go to a single guy's house, it's bachelor pad-ish, and his wasn't bachelor pad-ish. His was like, it had warmth, it had a bit of a woman's touch and all of that kind of stuff. So unless he has that flair himself, which I don't think he does, I think his mum had a lot of it. His mum had a lot of influence, and that is what I say. I think he was too immature for a grown-up type of relationship that Shanita was offering or was ready for, and I don't think he was ready mentally for that.
So Tanika's take is that, well, I think it's a mixture of both. Commitment issues and also not being mature enough for a serious relationship. I was surprised, though, as they seemed to get on. Well, that's it. I think it's the thing. I think that was it. I don't think he realised they would get on as well as they did. And I think as it was going well, then I think he started to panic, because the inevitable thing is, if your relationship goes well, the inevitable thing then is you have to move it up a step. So the next step is moving in. And I've got to be honest, I don't think he's ready for that. I think he quite liked the fact that he had his house and did his thing. She had her house and did her thing. And then they met once in a while. And I think that suited him. So when they were, the idea was then one's got to move somewhere and the other's got to move another way. That's harder for him, because he's got to move away from his mum, who, like you say, if she's doing all that, then he's not going to get that anymore, and plus he's going to lose certain freedoms which he didn't want to sacrifice. So I think that's more like it.
Yeah.
So he looked for an excuse to end it.
I think that, I feel like a show with Married at First Sight. I think that you have to go in with an open mind of, if you're going to meet someone, there's a potential, if they live far, you have to think you're prepared to move to wherever it is, right? Because this is life-changing stuff, supposedly, if you believe in the experiment. But also, how can you be ready to move somewhere if, in a normal relationship, when you meet someone, you get on with them, you don't normally move in together after 3 months or 2 months or whatever. But this is what the experiment is. They're supposed to match up. These experts, I don't think are really.
Well, do you know what? So going on to Kelly's point, I do agree about the experts bit, because if you think about it, there were 10 couples, technically 11, because if you count, you can count Whitney twice, because she had two stabs at it. So let's say 11 couples. Let's say 10, just for argument's sake. So 10 couples. Out of the 10 couples, the only successful ones were the two ladies, Zoe and I've forgotten the other lady's name.
Gemma?
Gemma, was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And George and April. That's it. So that's 2 out of 10. That's 20% success rate. Now, in Britain, there's a 50% divorce rate. So 50% of marriages work. So there's less than the average if you think about it. So the experts have a 20% success rate.
But I think the people that go onto this are not truthful with themselves, because why would you match up two people? One wants children and the other one doesn't. That makes absolutely no sense
Well, no,
to me.
I think I can see that because of their ages. So I don't think she was truthful when she had her interview. They had many psychological assessments. I don't think she said, I do not want children. I think she would have said, I don't want them now, but I'm open to it in the future.
She already said she didn't want children.
But then she changed it and said, I'm open to the future. I think that's not what she said. Oh, here we go. Tanika said, I don't think George and April will last, if I'm being honest. No, I don't either.
No.
I feel like they were playing up for the cameras a little bit. Oh, that's interesting.
I think to be fair, I feel April was fake. And we all know about George. If you've read the press. Now, we haven't watched the last one, so I don't know whether they are still together or not. Because once I watch the last one, then I'll Google to see if they're still together or not, or whatever. I feel like if you've been watching what's been in the press and been watching what's been happening and things like that, it's all crazy. And I think it was silly of him to go on.
Yeah.
When they're going to dig into your past.
Well, think about it. So April's Miss World. So I would say April, Whitney. I would say Duca. I would say definitely. Is it Oshi, the guy?
I'm just trying. Oh, Kwame.
Oshi. I don't want to say Oshi. Kwame. Those four, at least, just those four are in it for social media.
Yeah.
100% they're in it for social media. Kwame's got his own podcast. And the others, I think they're doing it to boost their social media stuff.
Yeah.
That's why they did it.
I feel like April was...
former Miss GB, so I think that increases her business. And it would also increase her Instagram, whatever, her social media.
And plus, I feel like... this is what I'm saying. This is why I feel it's fake. Because you say, they've gone through all of these, like, psychological tests and things like that, and I don't think that these are real, because like you say, you have Kwame, you have former Miss, especially April, and how they didn't find out about George. This is what I'm saying to you, because if they had bothered to even dig into the past, of which you would, right? If you're having contestants and you're going to show them on the TV and all of this, there is no psychological profiles and all of that sort of nonsense.
Well, that would have come up through the psychological profile. The only thing is, though, I would say, is that I don't think all the couples are matched for compatibility.
No.
I think some of the couples are matched because it makes a good television show.
Yeah.
That you cannot convince me. And Tanika, you can try, but you cannot convince me that Whitney and Duca were matched for compatibility. Absolutely no way. I think they looked at her, they looked at him, and I thought this will make a great argument.
Well, I don't know what they're talking about. I mean...
Kelly hates the fact that she drags her words out. Excuse me, sorry. I'm still getting the remnants of my cold. But...
You're just talking rubbish.
I thought it was something else. Kelly hates
I was sitting there thinking, love, shut up. Why are you talking that way? Why? Just talk normal.
But I think that's the thing. I do think they were paired up for a fight. I do think that he wound her up, and I think they knew that. And I do suspect that's why they were paired for that.
I feel like Duca was a cool guy. Now, I don't know if he was in it for fake reasons. I don't know. But I feel like
I do think
he was cannon fodder. Him and what was the other lady's name with the red hair? But she was off the scale, right? Every 5 minutes.
Oh, that's interesting. 100. She said 1,000% agree. Some are matched for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah.
Apparently, Matt was on Naked Attraction too.
Which one's Matt?
Matt's the one with the all the tattoos.
Ah.
That, do you know what? That wouldn't surprise me. That would not surprise me. Tanika said, "Oh, so they go from TV show to TV show."
Right.
Do you know what? You'll find that as well. I've seen quite a few reality TV shows go from one to the other. Oh, bless you, Mark. You sound like you've been poorly. So many colds doing the rounds. Oh, thank you, Tush. I know it's been that thing. Funny enough, I've been doing that work, and I get so conscious of it. So somebody go, "How are things?" I go, "Yeah, good." I've been that thing, and I'm trying not to, and then.
But they asked you to come in. They knew you weren't well.
Yeah, well, yeah, I had to come in.
They
for
knew
meetings
that.
today.
Yeah, they knew you
I
weren't
did tell
well.
them I wasn't well.
Yeah, and you still had to go in. So.
It wasn't too bad today once the meeting went as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm slowly starting to clear out. So sorry, we were just talking about Married at First Sight UK.
Yeah, I don't know if you watch it because not everybody watches reality TV. But I will. I do watch. I don't always watch Married at First Sight, but I will watch Married at First Sight and Love Island. They're the two British ones that I would watch.
Do you know what? I'm not a fan of reality TV show at all. That's the only one I really like to watch. The rest of the ones I hate the most are all singing competitions. I hate The Voice. I hate X Factor. I cannot stand it. It's just so formulaic. And I just think, and I thought that's it. X Factor's gone. They canned it. Thank God. And then I next hear that Channel 4, is it Channel 5 is going to buy it and bring it back. I thought, why? Let it go. And they do this with Big Brother. And I thought, oh,
yeah, because Big Brother's coming back as well.
Channel 5.
Yeah, Big Brother's coming back. The things that I don't like about Married at First Sight, whatever, but I think the things that I don't like about X Factor and all of that type of stuff is that you have these young, and they're not always young, but you have these real hopefuls that want to make it in whatever field it is, whether it's dance, whether it's singing, and whether it's, whatever field it is. And they sign these contracts, and I've heard horrific stories about these contracts. And you just think to yourself, what? And so that's what I feel sorry about.
So Tish had to work with her sinus infection. I'm really sorry to hear that. Do you know what? I've got to say, when you're ill, and if I'm working from home, it's actually okay because I've got all my creature comforts around me, so I can just I can take a break, sneeze and stuff like that. But when you're at work, you can't do that, and it's that extra drain of having to get in and do that. So I do sympathise with you. It's a lot harder to work when you're ill because you're almost like having to work double. You're having to sort of really concentrate more. Obviously you haven't got that. You're bunged up and everything.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping you're on the mend. I really am.
Yeah.
You sat on a till. Oh, it was draining. No, don't follow anything like that anymore.
Oh, sat on a till as in your job.
Oh, you're sat on a till.
Right.
Oh, you do. Oh, you work on a till. Oh, I see.
That's the. Oh, I can imagine sitting there and like when you're client facing as well, and you're well, but you have to train yourself in order to be. Does that make sense? So whenever you're client facing, even though you feel as sick as a dog, you're still like, "Hi, how are you?" Oh, blah, blah, blah. And you're just having to, do whatever it is, and you're just like, but you feel really sick.
It depends on what type of till you are. I don't know if you're like on a bank till or a supermarket till or a retail till. But it's I've done it many, many, many years ago. And I know what you're saying is, well, you are stuck there. You are stuck there because you can't go anywhere. It's not like if you just quickly need to get up and go, you can't. So you're just, I remember just sitting there thinking, oh my God, I just really want to, I'm tired. Or you really want to go to the loo and you just can't.
I feel like for me, when you're in client-facing positions, is that just that pretense that you have to keep up?
Can't really blow your nose. No, of course you can't say you're okay when you really want to just be curled up in bed.
Yeah. Bless you.
Mind you, what you could do is you just make it really obvious. if you just make a
We're professional, Mark. We don't do that.
They go, oh, please, just go, please just go. All right, then, if you insist.
But I think, yeah, in these days as well, because sometimes when you have the early onset of a cold, you don't know if it's COVID.
No, I have done 2 COVID
Yeah.
tests, both on separate 2 days apart from each other, and they've both been negative.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, when you have the early onset, you don't know if it's COVID at that time.
This is true.
You have to wait a bit,
true.
and then, but in the meantime, you could be. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. I feel like these days it's here to stay. Obviously, as we know, we've mentioned this many times. But just when you have the first onset of a cold, you sort of like panic a bit, don't you?
Well, to be fair though, for Tusha's point as well, they do say that's where you've got to be really careful when you do have a cold. Because they do say if you get COVID on top of that, it really is bad. So just be careful of that as well. I hope they let you wear a mask if you want to. Not that only if you want.
Only if you want to, yeah.
But
I mean, I wear a mask when I feel that I want to wear it. I don't wear it all the time. But when I am on the train, I will wear a mask. I don't wear it in shops and stuff like that unless I feel like if there's a lot of people or a lot of people suddenly come into the shop, then I will have my mask on. But yeah, it's just when I'm in the open air or if I go into the shopping centre, I don't have it on. But yeah, it's just I have it on when I feel like a certain like there's so many people and stuff like that. And plus, you know, we're coming into winter. You can't tell what's what these days.
Well, funny enough, actually, on the Saturday, I spent all of Saturday in bed. I'm not gonna lie.
You did.
I was so out of it. I think I woke up and I had a terrible night's sleep all of last week, really bad. I kept coughing and waking up. I probably had about 3-4 hours each night. So I got to Friday and I thought I just have to get till 5 o'clock. I just have to get to 5 o'clock. Got to 5 o'clock, logged off, and then I thought I just relaxed. And then Saturday I spent the entire day in bed. And then do you know what? That was awesome. I don't think I've slept that much in ages. And I was trying to watch movies. I was trying to watch Godzilla versus King Kong.
Yeah,
and I watched it. I thought. and I just missed the whole thing.
Mm.
Oh yeah, did it though. Got through it. Well done too.
Good for you.
Oh, you're exempt from wearing a mask. Okay, I just wondered that might help you.
Yeah.
But just be careful because you are going to be a lot more prone to COVID, just because you are obviously you've just had your sinus infection.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I spent all Saturday in bed. And I just kept falling asleep and then waking up and falling asleep and waking up.
Yeah.
So I just kept napping. But do you know what? I needed that just a whole day of sleep because on the Sunday I didn't feel 100%, but I thought, oh my god, I do feel better. I do feel better.
I feel like sleep does play a big part in your well-being. Do you know what I mean? I feel like sleep it plays a big part to your well-being. Your body tends to recover during that sleep process, and all of that type of stuff. So yeah, I do think sleep is important.
Yeah, Tush, that would be my big recommendation. If you can, just get to bed whilst you're ill, get to bed early. Try and get as much sleep as you can.
And vitamins, take your vitamins,
and then just
stuff like
make
that,
sure, like at the weekend, treat yourself if it's the Saturday or the Sunday to an entire day in bed. Honestly. I rarely spend the entire day in bed unless I'm ill.
Yeah.
It's very rare that I do that. I probably do that twice a year, but I tell you something, it's amazing just to be able to sleep all day.
Yeah, because in March when you got ill as well, I think you spent a day in bed as well.
Yeah, you said that. I've been like that. When you can, rest. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. For anybody who's got a cold, do that.
Yeah.
Honestly, it makes so much of a difference. Because first of all, I thought, I'm going to waste a Saturday. I could do this. And I sat there, I thought, what the hell am I going to do?
Yeah.
I've got no energy. I'm really tired. I can't go anywhere. I'm just going to pass out. In actual fact, in weather like this, when it was bucketing down on the Saturday, I thought, this is just perfect. I can just pass out and do it. I'm so glad I did. So, and I'm glad you're resting as well.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be the season. This is the season now where all the colds are like I get seasonal colds. So since you've been sick, I've been quite lucky because I've only had a blocked nose. So but equally when I get sick, you don't get sick either.
No.
The only The only time we got sick from each other was in March when I had COVID.
Yeah.
That's the only time. The other times,
Yeah. My vitamin C. I just spotted that there.
when I was sick before, in 2020, you didn't get sick.
No.
And that's when I had COVID really badly.
Ju said, think the wet and colder weather makes everybody more tired anyway. I think you're right.
And I'm the sort of person, I don't like getting wet. Where did I come back from? And I was really wet. And when I got on the train, I swapped my, because I had to go and meet my friend. So so Evelyn asked me to bake cakes for her friend at work. And we were supposed to be going out beforehand, but it was so rushed and all of that, and she wasn't feeling very well. And I said to her, because we were going to go to Inamo, and I said to her, it's better we go to Inamo when you're well, because that's what I was saying to her. Anyway, I thought I will go there and I will drop off the cakes to her anyway, so she can take it, because she was going out that night even though she wasn't that well. Well, she's still lost her voice.
Still?
Yeah, it's only just now recovering. Only just now. She had to go to the doctors. So she's had a bad throat since September.
Oh, that's interesting. Sorry, so Touche said orange juice is good for a cold.
Yeah.
But no dairy products.
Yeah.
As they can make you feel worse. Well, funny you should say that, because
creates mucus.
Yeah, I do have milk in coffee, or cream in coffee. But I've stopped drinking it. Like I said, when I do the lattes, I always do oat milk. But that's a good thing, because funny enough, I did stop drinking the coffees when I was ill, and that did help a little bit.
Yeah,
but I've gone back to doing it now.
Yeah,
so
it creates mucus. That's why.
But thank you. That's a good tip.
I love chocolate, and I love butter, and I love milk. I can. Do you know what? I can live without tea. To be fair, I don't have to have tea. I can live without it, but I really do like. I don't think I could live without chocolate. I think that's one of those things.
My mum always says she can't live without butter. She loves butter.
Oh, does she?
Oh, so much so that she'll just take little snips of it and eat it.
Oh,
that.
no.
Yeah. She loves butter that much. Yeah. She will do. She absolutely loves butter.
Yeah, but it's surprising what things contain dairy, because you think you're giving it up in one aspect, but you're not, because you're getting it in another aspect. But if I was to give up, let's say, dairy, that's no chocolate, no cakes, no butter, no. Yeah, it would be crazy.
You could never go vegan. I couldn't see it.
No, and I'm not even talking about vegan. I'm just talking about giving up milk. Just milk or butter. Yeah, just dairy in general would be crazy.
Yeah, I think it's when you have a cold, no caffeine. Oh, that's it. So that did help. I'm back on the caffeine though. I need it to get through the day. I'm not gonna lie. I do need it to get through the day.
Yeah, but you don't do pretty much anything else really. So your caffeine.
That is my vice. Coffee is my vice. I cannot get through the day without coffee. So
and mine is sugar.
So guys, is there anything you, food-wise or drink-wise, you cannot live without, except the obvious like water? But is there anything you could not give up? If somebody said to you, there's something you have to give up, there's one thing you said, look, I cannot, that is the one thing I cannot give up. What would it be?
Oh, do you know what? It'd be really difficult to give up sugar.
That's a bit general. I suppose, yeah, but you mean sugar for your tea?
Sugar in general.
All right, do one thing more specific.
You mean like chocolate?
Yeah, chocolate.
I couldn't give up chocolate.
You could. So I could give up chocolate.
No, you couldn't.
If it had to be one thing, someone said to you, right, you have to give up something you like, and that's it. You can never have it again as long as you live.
Never have it again as long as you live.
But it's one thing you like.
Eggs for you.
Have to like eggs. I would. Yeah, that would be mine.
Yeah.
I love omelets and stuff like that. I'd really struggle.
Yeah, to never be able to have eggs again.
So what would it be if they turned to you and they said, you can never have milk ever again. You can never have chocolate ever again.
Well,
hang on.
If they say milk, I wouldn't be able to have chocolate.
No. It doesn't work like that. So I mean any form of milk, apart from the stuff's in chocolate. So I mean the liquid type. So you can't have it in tea. You can't have it.
Well, I could give up milk. Yeah.
So you can never have a frap again.
Yeah, I could give that up.
Oh, Tanika, for me, I think carbs. Oh, particularly rice and bread. I love sandwiches and rice.
Right.
Not together.
Not together, obviously.
Rice sandwiches.
Rice. I could live without rice. What was the other thing? Is it bread?
And tea. All right, then, Tanika, here's one for you then. So somebody said to you, you either have to give up bread, you have to give up rice, or tea for the rest of your life. Just one of them. What one would you give up? Oh, 2 teas a day minimum. Oh my God, you're a real tea drinker. What one would you give up? So it is bread, rice, tea. Two said, honestly, probably crisps, because I eat far too many of them. I think I've had a lifetime of them already.
Do you know what? I used to work with someone, and she said crisps were her, she was really healthy. Like, she'd go jogging, she have smoothies, she'd detox her body, and all of this type of stuff. The thing that she felt that she wouldn't ever be able to give up is crisps. It was just so weird because, I suppose I don't really think of crisps, to be quite honest, because I could probably live without them. But I think the thing that I would struggle with, if it would be chocolate. If you said that I could never have chocolate
bless
again.
Tanika, she said I would give up tea first, but I think it would I would miss it. Can I still have herbal tea? It's all right. I don't set the rules. I don't set the rules. You can have the tea. It's interesting though. You said about crisps. I did watch the documentary. I don't know if you guys ever saw it, but there's one guy that he eats nothing but crisps. And this guy, they said that you get this with certain types of people. They have real food phobias. They don't like any they don't like any other forms of food. They just don't like to go near it. They don't like to touch it. And they've got a real phobia. If they see something and they don't like the look of it, they won't touch it and they just won't eat it. So this one guy always played it safe, and he would only eat crisps, any variety of crisps, but he would only ever eat crisps. You know, about six bags a day. And that's all he would eat. And he was constantly munching crisps because he was just saying as well, he was always, because he was hungry, because the doctors were saying, look, you've got to be careful because you've got no nutritional value in this.
I was going to say.
But he just couldn't say, he just said,
saturated fat.
He said, he was overweight. But he said, he goes, no, I don't like anything else. I don't want to touch. And they tried to get him to do vegetables. It really freaked him out. He really wouldn't touch any vegetable. They put some broccoli in front of him. He goes, no. Wouldn't touch it.
I think they're it's difficult to.
I am awful for crisps.
I think it's food's a funny thing as well, because when my mum was growing up, my mum had me very young, so I feel like especially when you're young, first of all you haven't even grasped how to cook.
No.
Right, so my mum was cooking these things, right, and I was just like, I'm not eating this. From young, I was not eating my mum's cooking, and obviously it took a long time before, because it takes a long time until your thing at cooking, but because obviously you mature, you find your taste, you find your likes, you find your dislikes, and all this. Now in the Mauritian culture, rice is life, and I've got to say, rice is not life for me.
No.
But rice is life.
Rice for me is incredibly it's so bland. It's so overrated.
Yeah, but it depends on how you're going to make your rice, darling. So with my mum, it would be in the Mauritian culture, it'd be normal boiled rice, and then you put whatever it is, your rugai or your whatever, on top of your rice, and that's how you eat. Now, my mum, she would always put chopped tomatoes or whatever in my rice. Now, I'm not eating that. And I remember it was so difficult for my mum, because there was loads of things that I wouldn't eat as a when I was young. So she would just do plain boiled rice and put chopped up bacon in it, and I would eat that. Or she would do plain boiled rice and put mince in it, and I would eat that.
I don't know why I find that so funny.
But when she was adding all tomatoes and everything else, I was not eating that. It took a long time before I found my palate. So, because obviously as well, when you're a teenager and you're going through life, you're going to certain restaurants. There are certain things, when you're going with your friends, you're going to pizza restaurants, or you're going to McDonald's, or you're going to, you're going to fast food places when you're a teenager, when you're growing up, kind of thing. And then later on, as you get older, you're then trying new things. Like you hadn't tried half the stuff until we got together. And then, like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
Tell me.
You make it sound like all it was like crisps.
No, you didn't.
Brown rice and nothing else. And oh, God,
No,
flavour.
but-
Thank you for introducing me to flavour.
Well, no, but you didn't.
Thank you for introducing me to flavour. Thank you.
What about when I came to your place and
Oh,
the
that's
first time? What did you make me?
Jacket potato, because that's all I had in.
You didn't make me. You didn't even make me jacket potato.
Tanika said, "Oh, I could live without chocolate, but I love it. But I could give it up easily." So that's totally different to Kelly. Excuse me.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I couldn't give up chocolate, but I feel like I get that from my mum. Like my mum really, but it isn't like my granddad really loved chocolate. My dad loved chocolate, and my mum loved chocolate. But the difference is with my dad, he didn't keep it in the house. And my mum's the same; she don't keep it in the house either.
Yeah, crisps. Yeah, they seem like I had nothing but crisps before. That wasn't a dig at you, by the way. I thought that was quite funny. Oh, Touche, my husband is like that with sauces. They absolutely repulse him.
Right.
I can imagine that actually as well, because I know with some, it's sometimes it's not, it's the texture, it's the smell, it's the color. You find that, especially I find that with a lot of things like passata sauce. I mean, the smell when it's cold absolutely repulses me. It's so strong. But when it's cooked and you eat it, it's quite nice and it's hot.
But like with me, when I use passata sauce, I'll add things to it. You know, I'll add my garlic to it, salt, sort of like different spices and things like that. So it really does depend. But also, I don't like anything gelatinous. So if you're going to pour gravy all over my Yorkshire pudding, that is a no-no. I don't mind it on my meat, but I don't want it all over my dinner where it's going to make it all soggy.
Tanika said, if you could only have one choice from each of the following categories, what would you choose? So 1, meat. Oh, this is a good question. Now, I'm vegetarian, so that would be a no for me. So you could have mine 2 meat choices.
So what I have to do without one of the meats?
You're only allowed 1 meat.
If I'm only allowed 1 meat, it would probably be beef.
Okay. 2, fish. So for me, that's a hard one. I eat a lot of salmon, but I would miss it, so I would say salmon.
Yeah, I think I'd say salmon too if it was fish.
3, fruit. Oh, that's a tough one.
Lychees. That's what I would have, lychees. I could do without everything else, but my
That's
lychee.
a really difficult one. I would probably say, I don't want to be boring and say apples because but I would probably go for something exotic that I would like. I'm going to say pineapple. I do love pineapple.
I love pineapple, but you know what? If I eat too much of it, it cuts my tongue. The acidity cuts my tongue.
4, vegetables. Oh, broccoli for me.
A sweet corn for me.
5, dairy. Cream for me. Oh, no. Cheese. Cheese. Love my cheese.
I would have milk.
Okay. There we go. That's a really good question, Tanika. Mark, what do you eat instead of rice? I struggle to think of alternatives. Do you know what? I find rice just plain and dull. So that's why I never eat it. So if I had something like a curry, I will have a naan bread or do what Kelly does, order one for herself and never eat it. And then I would have that. And then define me if that's not right, or bread or bread with it. So I would have it. So anything with the sauce, I'll eat with the bread, like a chapati or a flatbread or a naan or something like that.
Or maybe order rice and not eat it.
But I don't want rice. Oh no, that was disgusting. I couldn't eat that. It was horrible. I love. Tanika said, I love rice, garlic rice mainly. I could eat basmati rice with nothing on it. Oh really? I'm not
basmati
so sure.
rice.
Plain rice. No, it's just boring.
Yeah, I don't like plain rice.
Oh God, Tanika said, I hate cottage cheese. I can't get past the texture.
Oh no.
Also,
I'm with you on that.
Also prawns. I tried them last week and I can't get over the texture. Now, is it just the fact that it's the prawn, or are you talking about the entire prawn with the head on it as well? Because Kelly won't touch that.
No, I will touch it. I just don't like to work. Like, if I'm going to go out to a restaurant and I'm going to enjoy food, I would like to order a paella, but I want all the clams taken out of the shells, and I want my I want my prawn to be deveined and peeled.
Princess Kelly will not do any of that. So
I'm just saying.
if it comes,
I don't want to sit there with my hands having to peel this, take out that, and eat it. I don't want that. I want to enjoy. I want to sit down. I'm thinking, I'm gonna have something to eat now, and I want to enjoy it. How about you telling me I have to peel my prawns? What am I paying for the meal for?
I do
I
like
have to peel my own prawns. No.
I do like the little prawns like that, the
No.
ones with the little tassels.
About peeling my prawns.
You just pull the head off and just eat the rest of it.
No.
Oh my God! So Tush said, "Oh, her husband doesn't even like butter.
Oh.
Really? Not even on bread or toast or anything, unless it's in mash." Oh wow!
Yeah, you have to have butter in mash.
Oh
sure.
wow! Do you know what? I've never heard of that before. Somebody not really liking butter.
I feel like, do you know what it is? I feel like when people say that they don't like something, it's because it hasn't been cooked in a certain way or done in a certain way. Like when my nephew comes over, he'll say, "Oh, I don't like this or I don't like that," and I said, "You haven't tried it the way that I'm going to do it." And sure enough, he will enjoy the way that I've done it or the way that I've cooked it or whatever. And the same with Alicia. She'll be like, "I don't like this," or "I don't like mustard," or whatever. I said, let me do it for you, and then you'll see if you like it. So like I'll like mustard mash.
Yeah.
When she heard of that, she was like, "Oh no, I don't think I like." She tried it. She liked it. I put mustard in one of the pastas, but mustard is like I put Dijon mustard now. People say, "Oh, I don't like this, I don't like that," but you haven't tried it in a certain way. Sometimes you'll try it in the wrong way, and then that puts you off. I remember having strawberries once when I was little, and they were sour. I did not eat strawberries for about a decade after that because I just thought, "Oh, they're sour. I'm not gonna like them," and all of that. But you dip a strawberry in chocolate. I defy you that you don't like it.
Oh yeah, especially your Leonidas.
Yeah, you trust me. You're going to like the strawberry when it's dipped in sugar, or when it's dipped in chocolate, or when it's with a chantilly cream.
That is true, Touche. You can get cauliflower rice. I have had it, but it is expensive.
Yeah, we did have it one time.
We did have it. I quite liked it. It's a different taste. Again, though, but I would, to be honest, I probably would go for a bread rather than a rice if I was going to do that.
Yeah, I do cook rice at home. I don't cook it very often. But I'll make a fried rice, or I'll make a mushroom rice, or I will do yellow rice when we're having curry or something like that. So if I don't have the right bread in, so like I'll get certain breads in if we're going to have a curry. But if I don't have that bread in, then when I do a curry, I will do it with a yellow rice, and you'll eat it. You'll enjoy
totally.
it. Yeah,
it's nice. Okay, so it's sorry. Tanika, I'm just laughing at Tanika. It was just at the prawns, but something about them just freaked me out. I know what you're saying with this little thing.
What if I did you panko breadcrumb prawns? You'd eat it. Trust me, you would eat it. I promise you, you would eat it.
We don't have to grab it from the air, but
or if coconut shrimp, you would enjoy that. Trust me.
I can't. So Tuesday, I can't cook rice to save my life. It always ends up too wet and undercooked. So basically, that means if it's too wet, you put too much water in, and if it's undercooked, you just leave it a bit longer. The quickest way to do it, if you get a rice cooker, which you can get quite easy, in 10 minutes it'll do it automatically for you, and it is fail safe if you follow the instructions. They do work.
I'm just thinking when I do it, I always have to remember how I do it, which is so when you do a lot of people, if they put a cup of rice, so a cup of rice is a measurement, so it's not a mug like you get a cup. Like when I was younger, I thought a cup and I would get a plain old cup, but no, a cup is a measurement. So if you do a cup of rice, you would do 2 cups of water, but I don't always do 2 cups of water. I would do a cup and a half of water. But also you must wash the rice. So you must wash the rice to get all the starch and all of that off of it first. Once it runs clear, then you put it in your you put it in a pot with a see-through lid, and then you can do 1 cup of rice, and then I would do a cup and a half of water, but you could do 2 cups of water per cup of rice. So if you do 2 cups of rice, then it would be 4 cups of water, and so on. And then what you do is you bring it to the boil. So stir it. So while you're bringing it to the boil, while you're waiting for the rice to start bubbling, you stir it so that it doesn't get stuck to the bottom of the pot. And then once it's bubbling, you just put the lid on. You turn it down. You turn it down to a medium heat, and then you set the timer for 12 minutes. And then after your 15 minutes. After your 15 minutes, you turn off the timer. Turn off the gas or electric, however you're doing it. Turn off the gas, and then just leave it to steam. Leave it for about 5-10 minutes. Then after that, once you lift off the lid, it should have absorbed all the water, and then you just get a fork and fork it through. But it takes a bit of practice, because even my rice still gets stuck to the bottom of the pan now.
I can't do rice. I would just get a rice cooker. Honestly, when I was a student, that's what I did. You just basically fill the water up to the level, put the rice in, and it just does the rest.
I mean, you can get boiling a bag rice, Uncle Ben's. That's all right.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, it's all right. It's not the greatest, but it's all right.
Amazing advice. Thank you, Kelly, says Touche.
Oh, bless you.
Kelly's better. I can't do rice. Kelly does the rice.
But basmati rice, I mean, there's arguments about pita rice and basmati, but basmati, in my opinion, is the better. But I like pita rice as well.
So Sophie Dahl, the model, she went into cooking for a little bit. That's Roald Dahl's granddaughter.
Yeah, she's married to that jazz singer.
Yeah, Jamie Cullum.
Yeah.
So anyway, she did a rice pudding recipe, but she said don't use pudding rice, use basmati rice. She said it tastes much better. That was her thing. But
I don't know.
I've never made rice pudding with basmati rice.
I've never made rice pudding.
No, you normally use pudding rice.
Right, okay.
But,
I've never made it.
Yeah, there you are. So that's Kelly's recipe for the rice bits. Does anybody bake their own bread? Does anybody do that? We were looking at, the reason why I ask is Kelly and I were looking to get a bread maker.
Yeah.
So we have been looking, as you guys know, we have ordered both the heated blanket for you, and the heated booties for Kelly as well. So yeah, you heard it right, electric booties or heat up her
booty, not teas. It's only
one big booty that you put your feet in. I always have to say I've got one big booty. So but you put those in and it's actually electric heated. So we will review it when it comes. Now we ordered it from Lateland about a week and a half ago.
No.
Is it 2 weeks?
I think I ordered it on the 12th.
Oh my God, and it's still not here.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll hope it comes soon. As soon as that does come through, we will do a little review on it so you guys can see. But we've been meaning to do that as well. Touche said no, but can't beat warm fresh bread. Oh, do you know? So that's what we were looking at, Touche. We wanted to look at a bread maker. So I don't know if anybody owned one and recommended one. But there's a guy at work, he used to do that. His one, you don't have to do any kneading or anything. You literally bung the flour in. You buy the specialist flour because it's all got the yeast and stuff in it. And then you add the water and you just leave it. And the whole thing mixes it up and bakes it for you. Just set it on a timer. And he said it's amazing in the morning because you wake up to the smell of fresh bread. It cooks it for you and it bings and it's all ready. That I would love.
Yeah, I'll look into it because I think we should really get one. But I've got a cook for me, an electric pressure cooker, and because obviously we've got no space, but I'm going to take the Tassimo out because we've got the Tassimo. We haven't used it for a long time because you tend to use your Nespresso.
Yeah.
And every now and again, now that winter's coming in, we'll probably use the velvetizer a bit more. But I want to bring the cook for me down. We don't use the deep fat fryer either, so I think it's safe now to take that away and have the cook for me downstairs.
Yeah, so the idea is have you got a sore throat, Mark? Yeah, do you know what? It's not so much because I'm doing a lot of talking obviously on the live. It started to I've noticed that as well. Plus with my bunged upness.
Yeah.
If I talk a lot, I was doing a presentation on Friday, and as the presentation was going, I was, talking normally, and then I started to go, it started to go. So yeah, I'm a bit bunged. Sorry if I sound a bit bunged. But the idea of that as well, having that bread thing, I think would be great. So warm squid with a little honey. Oh, it's warm squash. I thought you said squid then. I thought get some squid.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
I
I've
should
been
try-
making him lemon, ginger, and honey.
Yeah.
So yeah, you made the last one yourself, but I made you a few from when you started getting sick. But also you did like while I was out, you did the you breathed in the hot water from
Yeah. Actual fact, Tush, that might help you. I tell you, I've been meaning to do this for ages, and somebody else recommended it. Is a very old thing to do. But I got a bowl and I filled it full of kettle boiling water, and obviously put a towel over my head and just breathed that in for about 20 minutes. And it really does that. You sweat buckets.
Yeah.
But you can feel your sinuses in clear. Apparently, it clears all any fluid you got in your lungs. It actually frees it up, and it allows you to.
So breathe
Breathe more cough.
You can even put a little bit of albus oil in it, and then if you put a bit of albus oil, you'll be able to breathe that in and everything else. When I remember us going to Brussels once, and I was really not well, and I bought albus oil, and I was putting it in the tissue and breathing it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can smell it all the way there and back.
Yeah, I had a lot of albus oil, but yeah, albus oil. Put it in your little basin, couple of drops, and that will, because it's got eucalyptus in it. It will really clear your sinuses. Yeah.
There you go. So, guys, we are rapidly approaching Bake Off. So I think we're going to leave it there for today. Thank you so much to everybody that contributed to our live today. Really, really good. Sorry I was late. I was at work, unfortunately. So I got back as quickly as I could. That's it for Mark and Kelly's tips and things this week.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we won't be able to do the live on Friday. However, we will be back next Tuesday.
We could do a Monday maybe.
We'll see. We'll stick to Tuesday
because it's Halloween on Monday.
Oh yes, Tuesday you can buy and ginger shot too. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. You have been breathing in the steam while in the bath. Home bargain sells Obus oil barber bath. Oh okay. Sorry guys, we're just putting some food on. Have a great week. See you next week. Yes, bye Talika. Have a fantastic week, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We will be back next Tuesday, and that will be our Halloween special, even though it's the day after. We will be celebrating on our Halloween special on the Tuesday. So please join us for that. Take care. Look after yourselves. Thank you so much. And I hope you feel better too as well, Tush.
Enjoy your fancy dress parties.
Yes.
Enjoy your pumpkin. I know you're doing Thunder's doing a spooky pumpkin ride, or going to a spooky pumpkin patch or something. So have fun doing that. Enjoy all your Halloween stuff, whatever you're going to get up to.
And we will see you next Tuesday. Have a fantastic weekend, guys. Look after yourself. Be safe. And remember, you are never told to have fun. Bye as well, Alicia.
Bye, Bunga.
Take care for now. Bye.
Bye.